Today, Indian banking is totally dependent upon connectivity. Every day, the banks are coming with new applications. All of these new applications, they need a lot of bandwidth.
With 64 kbps leased lines, we were not able to give the best response time to the branches. And the number of branches in the network was also increasing constantly.
The downtime was more because there were several points, and if one of these points went down, it would take down around 150 branches along with it.
It was also a disincentive for the staff. They were not enthusiastic because they had to wait after putting through every transaction for the response to come from the core banking.
But increasing the bandwidth branch-wise is a very difficult proposition.
When it was visualized, the question we had to decide was what is the technology to be used.
In early 2014, the bank and Dimension Data decided that perhaps as the demands on bandwidth are growing, maybe it's time to modernize and refresh the complete network architecture. And that is how the idea of converting the links to MPLS was born.
Once we cottoned on to this idea, then we started evaluating this with our partners, Dimension Data. We worked out a plan, we worked out a new network architecture, and then we approached our board.
With this project, the SBI network gets far more simplified, and the entire redundancy and the availability is now built into the MPLS architecture, which is coming from the service provider.
Bank needed this. Bank needed it because we needed better efficiency, we needed better uptime, we needed better security, we needed this project.
And we consulted Dimension Data. After all, they are the people who are going to do it on the ground.
The goal that was given was that within a year's time, we wanted the entire network to be on MPLS.
The first thought was, it's very ambitious. Migrating 20,000 branches on a live mission-critical network in a span of less than 12 months, when it took 4 years to create the original network, appeared very, very daunting. But then it was a business demand from SBI side, and we took it up as a challenge that we will make it happen.
We were quite skeptical, actually. We were not sure whether it could be done in 1 year. In fact, the original estimate was about 2 to 2.5 years.
However, what we did was we significantly augmented the number of resources both on the ground as well as in our network operations center in Bangalore. And we created a war room in GITC Belapur to ensure that there is a daily tracking of all the activities on the field. At the same time, there's a transparent reporting to SBI at the end of every day on the monthly goals that they set for us.
Dimension Data assured us on both counts that it is feasible for us to move to MPLS network, and that BSNL was assuring us to provide the necessary infrastructure to move.
So with this MPLS project, now what we've done is we have laid the foundation for a very dynamic and agile network. At the same time, it wasn't like creating a new network. We had to have the existing network up and running and delivering uptime while we are building a parallel network.
Practically, you have to create a different circuit, and once it is tested, found okay, then only you disconnect the old one, come back to the new one, that this transformation should happen without disrupting the services.
The cooperation that we received from those circles and associate banks and also from BSNL, and the kind of enthusiasm shown by the Dimension Data personnel on the ground is something which I did not imagine, it would be so easy.
In every one of the exchanges, people will have to give you some ports for connectivity, and that will be a local level person who will decide when he will give and what he will give. So if you want to have an aggressive target end date, their cooperation is very much essential because Dimension Data has good field level contacts at all places, and this was very essential in this kind of a rollout.
At the end of the day, however, the rubber meets the road on the ground, and that is where our engineers, along with BSNL engineers who've had several years of working relationship, worked together to ensure that we meet the timelines which were demanded from this particular project.
There was complete synergy, Dimension Data, the bank and BSNL, and bringing out a complete plan, a target plan also of how many branches per month, how we will go about it.
In the first quarter, we decided to migrate about 3,000 branches. In the second quarter, ending June, another 4,500 branches to be added. In the third quarter, 6,000 branches to be added. And by December, all the remaining branches to be covered.
And the State Bank, Dimension Data, BSNL engine came together as a well-oiled machine to ensure that we delivered everything, not in 12 months, but actually in less than 12 months, in about 11 months and 13 days' time.
So when we started this project in 2002-03, it took us almost a year for us to roll out 1,500 branches. Today, I'm amazed that in the same period of 1 year, we have been able to migrate to MPLS in more than 20,000 locations.
I think this has been one of the fastest implementations of its kind. And if anybody says that India doesn't know how to execute or doesn't know how to actually get things done, they should look at this project, which has been run with almost military precision.
And none of the branches might have felt the transformation itself. And that's a big achievement for any exercise of this sort.
Dimension Data has been a network partner right from the beginning. When we rolled out core banking, which needed a real-time network, they have got the ability to be able to provide whatever support is required. They have been very stable, very reliable partners.
SBI and Dimension Data have enjoyed a 12-year relationship, and the bond has strengthened with every passing year. Today, as we speak, there are 650 engineers on the ground who are creating value for SBI every single day. Every single day, State Bank exists in Dimension Data's heartbeat. And whenever State Bank of India expresses something to be done, the company just stands up and delivers, no questions asked.
So we had a lot of faith in both Dimension Data and in BSNL. I think our faith has been well borne out by the fact that they have come up to scratch and we have completed the project.